First off, rest in peace, neighborhood nip. I ain't crip, but I'm on that neighborhood shoot. Building business, it's that black owned. If you hustle, better hustle till your pack gone. If you work, better work till your back hurt. And if you rap, make it better than your last verse. Yeah, more lyrics. Stick and move, Javante
AJ, El Presidente, Eddie Kane University. Hill gon' heal, regardless. You, Buchanan, Bethel High School, by way of 3-Man Weave, LLC.
Michelle, producer, based over here.
You can catch this wave from the Marlins to the Mariners. Doing things you can't believe. It's the 3-Man Weave.
What up? Coming to topics. We are back again with another episode of the 3-Man Weave podcast. This is episode 266.
Oh man,
running through them things. I'm running things. I am your host, AJ. Who I got with me today?
You already know who it is. Your boy Hill, and he'll go Hill regardless, baby. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Where can they find us? Good, sir.
Y'all know y'all can catch us on all major podcast platforms. 3-Man Weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3-Man Weave _. You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. Get right to it. I got a question, man. And this been on my mind all day, bro. Almost typed it in the Facebook group, and I ended up deleting it, man. I just had to ask you. It's two interviewers. They at the top of they at the top of the list, right?
Mm-hmm.
When athletes get around these two individuals, they start saying some of the craziest they can say. One of them is Taylor Rooks, which we've seen a whole compilation of athletes just say anything when she interviews them. But now somebody's on her heels when it comes to getting athletes to start saying some of the most reckless things, and that's Kay Adams, dog. So I'm asking,
hey man, I'm telling you, hey,
I'm asking you, who is number one?
Oh, you
some of the craziest.
We already know we gotta respect the OG, the originator of getting around for lying for the women. That's Taylor Rooks. Them because. Hey, you had them do. Hey man, I remember when I was in prep school. I went for 1,014 rebounds and 37 assists. Man, it just felt unreal, and that's just when I knew, I could make it in the NBA. Like they get up, she's. Tell me more.
Interesting.
So yeah, man. I like. Hey, it's always gonna. Well, I ain't gonna say always, but right now, Taylor Rooks. She the Triple Crown. She running the game right now. But I will say,
yeah,
especially I know from watching the Bengals, because Kay Adams was a big fan of like the Bengals, so she was around a lot of players in the locker room. It's like it was rumored that CJ Uzama left the Bengals to play for the Jets so he could be with Kay Adams, because he was like, I don't know why he getting so much airtime. Like CJ, he was on Up and Adams a lot, so that's why everybody was like, "Oh, CJ is definitely," you know what I mean. So Kay Adams, she's definitely up there, and for the ones that enjoy the milk, she is definitely top of the top.
Dr. Umar definitely gonna have to understand. I feel it. I feel him.
Hey, Dr. Umar. Can you scrap? Because they work.
Because when they on settings like this, is sometimes they feel comfortable, but then she do like this. She lean
right
up.
On there.
It's all on the screen, and then next thing you know it's a week left, and next thing you know, probably get $1,000 next week.
Because man, and you already know how Taylor Rooks be getting them. Because Taylor Rooks already be in there looking good.
Mm-hmm.
I just know Taylor Rooks smell good too. So you in that thing, you in there sitting there, you be like, lies.
So,
you cooking up your best. You cooking up your best.
You couldn't have watched Foxworth Friday today.
I didn't. Nope, not yet.
Trust me. when you listen to it and watch it, whatever,
Oh,
you'll understand the reference that I just
okay.
did.
I'm definitely go. I'm a run that after this.
But the reason why I asked this question, bro, because K is in New Orleans, just like and everybody seems like they are having a great time. I have got to
Bro,
go to New Orleans,
so here's
bro.
my thing.
I got to go to New Orleans, dog.
We get. I'm
Yeah,
coming.
yeah.
God damn it. Hey, cause look, I've never heard anyone say, man, it was all right. Nobody has ever got back from New Orleans. Was like, no, it was all right. Everybody comes back from New Orleans. Like, hey, that shit was amazing. Food was great. Oh gosh.
Yeah, but it's still. I mean, I'm watching, a plethora of interviews. Other than
For sure.
there's a lot of people down there. Radio Row is lit in there. A lot of people doing the car wash, and car wash is a lot of interviews, a lot of shows,
And I
appearances.
go ahead. No, go ahead. I'll say it after.
So I'm like, everybody's spirits is just high. I'm
Yeah,
like, everybody's having a good time, and I'm like, I like that for everybody. You know what I'm saying? You can feel the vibe, but
for
they are
sure.
on Up in Adam's show live, seeing her live, saying some of the most outlandish things directly to her, and she just sitting there just marveling in whatever that they are
Mm-hmm.
talking.
Yep. She's just like, tell me more. Give me all the views because we are going to aggregate this and clip it up. Clip this up. I do just want to say when we talk about the car wash, man, I just want to thank my quarterback for going out there and just talking his, I mean, like, hey, y'all better send that message loud and clear. And then also I want to say, I didn't know, I never noticed, but something stood out to me when they posted all of his belongings that were recovered, that were
Mhm.
stolen out of his house, all of his chains, jewelry, and everything like that. You know what I didn't notice?
Well,
He had him a nice little scale up at the top. And then when he showed up at the NFL honors, I realized, oh, Joe be blowing it down. Joe was high as hell. That motherfucker was high as hell. I'm like, oh, shout out to, hey, that's my quarterback, man. Joe be over there getting loaded.
you making me sad, man, because I had a player. Well, I had other player, but this particular player doing the car wash as well, and he said some things that was encouraging Michael Parsons. Saying he
Yeah.
willing to take less money to go get Myles Garrett and and all that, and it was music to my ears and all that. But my owner's down there as well, and he threw a bucket of water on any hope that I thought he had. So yeah, what we gonna do? First part of the show is we're gonna talk about the trade deadline was one. Woo! I mean, did the trade deadline make you forget this it's a Super Bowl this week?
Silver, hey, say what you want. I think Silver pushed the button.
Okay,
Said, hey,
they always
I
taking
want
over.
I
Yeah,
want to reclaim my time.
yeah,
I want to reclaim my time. I think Silver pushed the button, and hey, and it started with Luca.
yeah.
But yeah, let's go ahead and run through some of these trades and give our thoughts on the NBA. We're gonna use the NBA draft tracker just so it's like, hey, let's
Yeah,
see if we could, make sure we get everything and not miss nothing.
I mean, I
This
feel
move,
bad. Yeah, I feel bad for Marcus Smart. Got traded for some pennies to the Wizards. I mean, it didn't
but
really work out like we thought it was for Memphis. So I get him and unload him. But yeah, what you about to say?
I was gonna say for Marcus Smart, it's unfortunate and I hate it. But for the Wizards, I think it was an actual good move because they needed some adults in the room. He's a
Hmm.
he's a consummate professional. He's going to lock in, and he's one of those players that's a defender. And hey, this is it's what they needed. And at this point in his career, maybe that's just what Marcus Smart needed. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, they got him, and then we're gonna talk about Chris Middleton too when he gets down
yeah.
there. But yeah, I just still feel bad for anybody going to Washington right now.
And, yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
James Wiseman was a salary dump because he is out for the season right now for the Raptors. So that's just a contract thing that they just did. Jake LaRivia, that's wrong. He got traded to Memphis earlier, but he got rerouted. He's going to the Kings.
Yeah.
So yeah, shouts out to the Kings. The Kings made some weird moves,
Yeah,
but
was unsure what they doing. They was smoking that beam up there.
it's like they was trying to, like they got rid of Fox, so now it's like we trying to still compete, and I was like, okay, all right,
Cause
yep,
like we'll get there.
yeah. Kevin Porter Jr. got up out of there from the Clippers, got to the Bucks. He had been, playing decently for the Clippers, so the Bucks getting another wing to go along with some of the things that they lost. Chris Middleton, nice move, pick up.
Yeah, for sure.
Ha ha ha! Jimmy Butler to the Warriors. Finally happened. He finally got him up out of there. And I'll give the floor to you, my brother.
I believe, this was kind of this was almost what this is what Jimmy was asking Pat Riley to do. Not necessarily like, even though that team was a little bit different, but it's just like, give me something, like give me another star to play with to try and, help me take this, you know, take some of this weight off my shoulders. Like we've seen, playoff Jimmy's like, he over there looking like the Popeye lady, in the finals. Just he literally out there doing it all. And this is just what he's wanted. And it wasn't necessarily like, oh, give me, build me a super team so we can contend for a title, but it was more so just give me some help, and then I'll try and do the rest. Hey, hop on my back, but just give me some help. And I think this is one of those things where it's just like this was a move to kind of allow Steph to have some, meaningful games down the the back end of his career, where it's like he can have someone else that he could rely on and score, defend, and is a professional. You know what I mean? So it's not like he's got to do all this kind of like teaching on the court. Someone who is really seasoned in the like the NBA game, and Steph don't have to tell them nothing. Like Jimmy know what to do, and Jimmy also knows how to be a role, not even
Yeah,
necessarily a
yeah,
role player, but
yeah.
he knows how to fall into multiple roles to allow Steph the freedom to do what he needs to do to really excel in his role as well. And so I think this is not a championship move, but this is a move that allows Steph to kind of continue his reign as the greatest Golden State Warrior and one of the greatest players of this generation.
This isn't a championship move that you believe. And who in the West is a contender in your opinion right now?
OKC.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would say
Yeah,
okay. I would say OKC, but there are some other teams that I think are still better even with this trade.
that's what I would ask you.
I know, I know.
I asked you who did you feel is a contender? And you only could name one team.
But I also feel that like I feel that way. It ain't a whole bunch of teams on the other side either. That's all I'm saying.
Two on the other side that are legitimate contenders right now, and it's
Right.
another third team that you have to worry about over there in the East. So we at least got the three teams on the East. You gave me one on the West. With Jimmy's skill set, with him being able to play off ball, but him being able to slab, to him to actually play within their system, I think he's going to fit seamlessly and help them. I'm not saying they it is a log jam after you get from the 6th seed down.
Yeah.
It's a log jam, so anything can happen. But uh, as of now, they're looking at the play-in.
Right.
Matchup dependent, they can still do some things depending on who they match up with. And we do know in the playoffs, it is about matchups. So now you just can't load up on a Steph and just bank on somebody else to beat you. You know what I'm saying? The fit between we haven't seen Jimmy play basketball in a long time, basically, and his season this year was not his best. So we really don't know what he will actually bring to the table. We just going off of his reputation, which that's all we can go off at this point. You know what I'm saying? But I do feel that with this addition, without giving up Kaminga, they
Yeah.
have an opportunity to uh, rise up in the seedings, and depending on who they match up against, you can give them a chance because they do have organizational benefit of the doubt.
Right.
Still
And
back then,
the only reason why I said I don't necessarily look at them as a contender still is just because, I mean, to me, yes, like you still got Steph, but it's just like Buddy Hield ain't looking like, you know,
yeah.
you want him to look. Uh Podzmiski, like, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, he's cool, but come playoff time, is that the depth that you really going to, be able to rely on? Moses Moody, like, are you going to be able to rely on that? Like, like I said, there's not tons of bigs in the West, but it's just like when you start matching up with some of those teams, like if you go against the Nuggets, I mean,
Yeah, it's barbecue
like
chicken. Jokic barbecue chicken.
what's going to happen there?
Yeah.
And like I said, and so even some of the other teams in the West is just like, yeah, y'all cool, but like even right now, it's just like, do y'all have anybody that could like get, like, even if they go against the Rockets, that could be a toss up because them young boys
Rockets not,
can.
yeah, Rockets not ready for the playoffs yet. Them young
Right,
boys is regular season young boys. And they are good,
right,
but we
but
do we do know it takes playoff experience. That definitely always takes the cakes.
right. It takes it sounds like that, but sometimes we've seen it a couple times too. Hey, like you can get caught with some of these young teams because just like we just come in the hoop.
Mm-hmm.
We we want to take y'all down. So that can happen too. We've seen that happen before. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's fine. But overall, I'm happy that this saga is finally over. I'm
Yeah.
tired of people coming at me like I'm Jimmy's agent, yelling at me. Well, what does Jimmy want? And I'm trying to explain what's the situation. They still ain't trying to hear it. They just so sick of Jimmy. Jimmy's just the worst thing in life. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, Pat Riley ain't done nothing. This ain't none of his fault. Okay, cool. This is
But the crazy thing about, well, not even the crazy thing. The funny thing about it is this is on brand for Pat Riley.
okay.
It was Wade County at one point, and he was playing hardball with Dwayne Wade.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the one play he talked about, oh, he wanted to keep LeBron there. He was playing hardball with LeBron.
It's eerily similar when they lost their last finals game, and he came to the podium and he was on his pack. I just wanted one rumor that just pissed me off the most, which was they delayed the plane for Jimmy, and then when he said he wasn't coming, they just left. Jimmy Butler delayed the plane, and it's the same Pat Riley's team that wouldn't let LeBron James eat cookies on the plane. Now let me say this again: it's the same Pat Riley team that wouldn't let LeBron James eat cookies on the plane. But you mean to tell me y'all gonna let Jimmy Butler delay the plane?
Gil told me, told everybody, but Gil said, hey, obviously you let certain players get away with certain stuff. If it's already known that Jimmy may fly on the plane separate to a destination. So y'all didn't delay. Jimmy told y'all, I'll meet y'all there. What's different? Like, what's changed? What's changed is you needed something to put out there so you can get the conduct detrimental to the team, so you could justify your indefinite suspension.
And Jimmy has a history, so it's easy to buy in all these negative stories because it's Jimmy being Jimmy again. Like I say, which Jimmy could have handled this a lot better. He tried to go the sophisticated route, but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you got to go for what you know. You know what
Hey,
I'm saying?
sometimes, hey,
All the offseason workout on your left. Hey, sometimes I just got to go right when it's time. Oh man, it's a couple this one. Once we get here, what is the biggest underrated move for you and that's not getting enough attention? Once we get there, you will know, my brother. Um, Cody Zeller was a salary dump to the Rockets. He wasn't even playing. Bodan Bogdanovic to the Clippers. But I don't understand why every time he gets traded, people act like he's not Bodan Bogdanovic.
But I like Bogey though. But he's
Okay,
he's still bogged down. Yeah,
that's
but
what I'm saying. Like,
I like him.
this is the move that I want to discuss. DeAndre Hunter to the Cavs. Remember what I said? What is the underrated move that nobody's talking about?
Mm-hmm.
This is it.
For
Another
sure.
a wing that can seamlessly fit right there with this team that they don't have to stop nothing they that doing. All he can do is all positive, metrics towards what they built already.
And he can guard like a motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying? So you already have a defensive liability when it comes to Spider. Donovan Mitchell. I get it. You got Jared Allen. You got Mosley. Holding down the front court. But like you said, you got a wing.
You needed that wing defender. Yeah,
Yeah.
you needed that wing defender, and that helps them so much because, like you said, now you can not necessarily. Yeah, matter of fact, you can protect Donovan Mitchell when he's out there, and you can allow him to be the scorer, focus on the scoring. Hey, DeAndre, go lock up, and then you still got them trees in the paint.
It helps you match up with the Celtics, and like you said, it's going to also help you match up with the Knicks. Like I said, the Knicks are that team that I had number 3, but what they've shown us the past couple of seasons, that playoff Knicks is real. Playoff Brunson is real. So you have to come to play in a series when it comes to this. So you're gonna need all hands on deck. And getting DeAndre Hunter, I like what they got going on. Like I said, they already been balling, this season in the East. I know nobody really cares to talk about him because Donovan Mitchell has a negative playoff history, so we don't want to believe into the Cavs. I get it. I understand how the NBA has already got us to think about it.
A player can have a negative playoff history until they don't.
Hey, so
Steve Young couldn't get over the hump. Then he did.
Yeah,
got that monkey off his back. You know what I'm saying? It happens until it ain't.
Your guy Joseph Nurkic got traded to the Hornets. Got traded to the Hornets for Cody Martin and
they could have easily just did that with the Nick Richards trade. I just like what was we doing?
It didn't make sense. It does make sense because I'm pretty sure it
makes sense because it was like after the fact, but still, it's just like
that's why. Yeah, the hindsight was 2020 when we was like, you could have just did this for Nick Richards and all that. But I'm pretty sure that it was probably trying to attach him with somebody else. So, but yeah, attaching he had to fall off that bad. He had to get attached with a first.
And that's one of the reasons why it's like, man, for that first with what we need as this team, hey dog, you might just have to stay.
Patrick Baldwin, I think he was in that Chris Middleton trade.
Yeah.
So yeah, he got free from DC. That's all we care about. But he's going to San Antonio. Shouts out to him. Davion Mitchell. Okay.
Just getting bodies because Jimmy gone.
That's pretty much what it is. And maybe he become, something when Pat Riley was Spo coaching him. But shouts out to the Heat. Glad I got out of that narcotic. Jared Butler traded to the 76ers. Reggie Jackson traded to the Wizards. He's probably going to get brought out. So, shouts out to him.
Hey, let's make the numbers work.
Mark Williams.
How you feel about this one?
I think the compensation was just a little bit too much. But he is young, big tall man. So,
big tall.
A lot of
at least 30.
And once again, you've seen Luka enough in the league to know what he needs from his big man. He needs a lob threat. So the Lakers only had Jackson Hayes at the time. So you need another quality. You need another quality big. He is young.
Nice little, tall body that could,
I think he's averaging 16 and 10. Like I said, he's been rotting away in Charlotte. Like I said,
those numbers will drop, but he could probably have a bigger impact.
And it's similar to this is what all teams should be doing. It's similar to what the Mavs did last year when they went and got a Daniel Gafford from the Wizards. It's like, who is Daniel Gafford? Of course you don't know him. He's been rotting with the Wizards.
Yep.
And then he come to Dallas and he play
Put
same
him,
thing with PJ Washington.
put him in some structure. See what happens, and boom, you never know. Something might hit.
Yeah, so getting like I said, giving up Don't Connect he's had a roller coaster type of rookie year.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe it'll come back to haunt you in later on in life, but I think when
But
you have the
here's my thing.
Don't Connect.
When it comes to team structure, would I rather have Dalton Connect, Luka, and the team as it was, or would I rather have Luka and Mark Williams when you already have Jackson Hayes in place because you needed big bodies. You still got other players, but it's just like you do need some big bodies, and like you said, you needed some rim runners. We know that can kind of get the lob with Luka and as well. So to me, I think Dalton Connect. I mean,
in that scenario, you have to go with a Mark. Like
yeah,
Dalton Connect is let's talk about it. He's a defensive liability, bro.
exactly.
We know Luka can't play no defense. So
it's almost like, can you even have those two on the court together?
Exactly. So it was gonna be counterproductive regardless. Even if he was kicking it out and he was hitting the three and he was actually giving you the offense that you thought he was.
Because how many threes you giving up, how many and ones you giving up because you're getting blown by. So it's just like, to me, in this sense, like, hey, it makes sense in my eyes for roster management that, hey, yes, you give up Dalton Connect, who has showed some offensive flashes, but Mark, like you said, Mark Williams is young too, and you're gonna take some of these minutes off of his body by having Jackson Hayes in tow. Shout out to Cincinnati.
But yeah, I mean, shouts out to 757. I like my guy from North.
Hey, but you got my guy Jackson from the town.
You know what I'm saying? We from
the town. I mean?
Brandon Ingram to the Raptors.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Talk about why did you do that?
I don't like, to me, with the Raptors, I don't know what the vision is. Maybe I think that's what it comes down to with me. Like, I understand, hey, Brandon Ingram, you add him to it. You got Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram. That's a great wing pairing.
Go ahead.
But I just don't know what they're like. Where's it going? What are you trying? I understand you're trying to just get more talent in, but
that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
they are trying to accumulate talent. You know what I'm saying? And the more talent they have, the more ammunition that they can have to go probably use somebody as a trade piece to go try to improve this team. But you have to get the talent to do that. Like you said, I get it. It's clunky having RJ Barrett, having Scotty Barnes, and now adding Brandon Ingram to the mix. Like I say, play the same position.
That's why I was saying it's just like to me that just seems crowded. And then, like I said, and then throw Grady Dick in the mix too. Pause. But it's just like you're acquire your best young talent. It's like they all kind of step on each other's toes.
Yo, we never throwing Dick in the mix. Like, I don't know. I don't know. He got to change his name, bro. Like, it's nothing that, we're never going to be this mature, bro. Like, never in life. I don't care how old we get, bro. It's like this is insane, bro. It's nothing you can say, bro. Like, think about that statement you really tried to make, bro. It was a regular statement.
Yeah, that was bad.
Like, but it's crazy, bro. Like, all right, Jonas Valanciunas. Like, I think this was a move that we were trying to talk about earlier. Going to the Kings. What are you doing? You traded for Levine. Okay, cool. You try to get another piece that you let De'Aaron Fox go. Okay, trying to compete, or you still trying to stay afloat. I get it. All right, bet.
Yeah, because to me, the moment where it was like, okay, we're moving on from De'Aaron Fox, it's like,
blow it up.
Like, why are you? Because now, to me, it's like, just like we were just talking about with the Raptors, you got DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, like,
again,
Spider-Man meme, like what? And so it's just like, yeah, Jonas Valanciunas is a good big, and so now Sabonis, he can kind of play the 4 and move around a little bit too.
Mhm.
But it's like you could have kept De'Aaron Fox and got Valanciunas.
But what? Think about it. You got Levine, you got DeMar DeRozan, you got Sabonis, and now you got Valanciunas. If you really think about, you think what Keegan Murphy, what Mitchell, whatever,
Keegan Murray,
whoever, whoever.
Keegan Michael Key.
Yeah, you think that his shooting is gonna be enough to spread this out?
Nope.
Okay, that's nasty, bro. And it lets you know another incompetent front office that really don't know what they're doing, because this is another trade that they ain't really getting the value from. Bro, what did you get for Fox? What did you get for Fox? Oh, 3 first-round picks. What did you get for Halliburton? We don't even remember. Okay.
And my thing is, like, if you're gonna get picks, go get picks. Why are you just like what do you need DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine for? Because it's like those aren't moves that are gonna be like, okay, yeah, we can kind of make some noise. Like, yeah, it's gonna be okay. But it's just like, for what? Why are you prolonging the inevitable? Yeah. Just go hoard some picks. Hey, I guarantee you it's some teams that'll send you some picks for DeMar DeRozan. I guarantee you some teams that'll send you some picks for Zach LaVine. It may not be a whole bunch, but it could do something for you. Like, it could do something for your future, and then you could be a little bit more competitive down the line.
Daniel Tice went to the Thunder from the Pelicans. Some big man insurance. You know, Isaiah Hartenstein been injured. Chet probably come back, and we seen Chet in the playoff without another big. You
needed somebody with some rocks in their shoes.
Yeah, so that's all that he gonna do. Jaden Springer got traded to the Rockets. Shouts out to him. Okay,
we can move on.
Kyle Kuzma to the Bucks. How did you feel about that? Because I didn't like that.
For Chris Middleton, it seems like
you did say pause.
Yes, I did pause. I did say pause. It seems like it's kind of like a meh trade, but I also think that Kyle Kuzma has talent. Yes. He has talent. Kyle Kuzma has talent. I think with Chris Middleton getting up in age and, some of the injuries that he's had in key moments, I think a lot of times it kind of drew, I think it may have kind of like drew the ire of that front office. Like, yo, we want somebody to be able to be present when it's playoff time. And so I think maybe that's why they kind of, went with somebody who can bring some upside in Kyle Kuzma. And again, he was playing AAU basketball over there in Washington where they were just doing whatever the hell they wanted to do. And so I think that maybe they feel like they can put him in some structure and he can add some value. But it's like Chris Middleton kind of knew what you guys were about. But I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
And I maybe I say I hated it was a little too harsh, because let's be honest, Chris Middleton hasn't done anything for the Bucks since they won the championship. He's been injured, and he's been injured since that championship. And that championship was a long time ago.
Time ago.
At this point, so getting him,
I would know.
So moving on from him was cool. Getting Kyle Kuzma, cool. Give you a third scorer that you can use. Y'all defense been the issue. Giannis can't check everybody. You know what I'm saying? And Brook Lopez is really only going to do what Brook Lopez does around the paint. That's about it. Dame ain't about to check nobody.
Not a soul.
Kuzma ain't about to check nobody. Mike Beasley ain't about to check nobody. The people that they have, like, they needed a 3-and-D defender.
Mm-hmm.
And based off, a brief overview of their roster, maybe I'm overlooking somebody, but I don't see that. And I think that's what they desperately needed. But I mean, you're getting nothing from Chris Middleton. So shouts out to Kuzma getting free from DC. I feel bad for KJ Martin. I think he got rerouted to Utah.
Yeah, I would have liked him in Detroit though, with a bunch of young players, and they could all kind of grow together. And then it kind of, like you said, you could fit in next to Cade and all of that. But
they actually been playing some good ball, man.
Yeah.
Caleb Martin, he free from Philly. He went to the Mavs, so another piece that they could use.
Yeah, for sure.
But who did they give up for when they gave up Quentin Grimes? Yeah, Quentin Grimes. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, cool.
We already we didn't discuss the actual trade about De'Aaron Fox. We alluded to it last episode. Going to the Spurs. He is with the Spurs. They didn't give up Stephon Castle, which De'Aaron Fox wanted to play with him for sure. I'm surprised that they still have Chris Paul on this roster.
I don't know how long that's gonna last, to be quite honest.
I mean, it's gonna have to last for the season. That's
Yeah,
it. But to get the full product of what these two can actually do, you got to get Chris Paul up out of there, bro.
yeah,
You got to get Chris Paul. You got to let De'Aaron Fox run the show. You got to get the 2-man game with him and Wemby, and they are going to be a force to be reckoned with soon.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we discussed it. We pretty much wrapping up. We did AD trade, PJ Tucker. Just go home, bro. Grab the mic, dog.
Bro, he needs some shoe money, dog.
Grab the mic, dog. I'm pretty sure his podcast will do numbers. Go ahead, grab the mic, PJ.
Is Vice still around? Because he should do like a sneaker show with Vice.
I'm pretty sure they still are around.
Yeah.
Whatever. Grab a mic, dog.
Yeah.
Come join us, dog. Nick Richards to the Suns. Okay. No, Infinity. We already talked. So yeah, we hit
everything. Hey, look at the time. We did our thing. Hey,
I'm proud of us.
Hell yeah.
Now for the moment that you've been waiting for. This snooze bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, dog. I have not. I've watched some of the interviews on Radio Row, but the interviews that I've watched have nothing to do with the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
like I haven't had any Super Bowl coverage. The
only Super Bowl coverage interviews that I've watched is when Jameis was asking players questions. Like, I don't care. So look, and it's so crazy because the last time these two teams played, I didn't watch the Super Bowl. And so now I don't care about this Super Bowl. I don't. I hope it ends in a tie. Same thing I said about the last time they played the Super Bowl. And I really don't care for either hey, whoever wins, sure.
All right, but I have a question though. So
okay, and I have an answer.
And it's too. I want chat to chime in as well. And this has nothing to do with the NFL rigging the game. So I'm going to go let that disclaimer out there. But my question is, what team does the NFL want to win? Or let me rephrase that. What team does the NFL need to win? That's the better one. That's the one. What team does the NFL need to win?
The Chiefs.
I'm so glad you said that. Please explain. Please.
The Chiefs, unfortunately, damn, Miss King said it right here. The Chiefs, unfortunately, the same time I said it. The Chiefs, unfortunately, the reason why I say that is because kind of what they've been doing and how often they've been showing the whole Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift thing, the Patrick Mahomes greatness thing. And it's just like it almost is like it continues, and then the repeat. Mm-hmm. That's one we don't see that. And so now it's going to be one of those things that you get to talk about. Chiefs is going to prop up the conversation and the talking heads again. Oh, Patrick Mahomes, is he, where is he in the GOAT conversation? Has he overtaken Brady? Is this, is this, that? Is this with the new TV deal and this and that? And the reason why I say that also is because the Philadelphia market is already the Philadelphia market. It's already going to blow. Just like in other sports, like the big markets are always going to be the big markets. Now, when you could actually get a whole bunch of eyes focused on a mid to small market now too, it's like, oh yeah, we print money hand over fist. We got Travis Kelce's jerseys flying off the rack, for all the little Swifties. We got Patrick Mahomes jerseys flying off the rack. You know what I'm saying? And so to me, I think the narrative fits better with the Chiefs winning, and I think it's a more sellable play because now it's still more consistent, talk with that because you have the more consistent franchise in a sense, and then also the AFC is a better conference, so now it's. Can anybody overtake Patrick Mahomes? Is it going to? And that continues with the Josh Allen. That continues with the Lamar Jackson. It continues with the Joe Burrow. Can CJ Stroud step up? Who knows? Like, hey, if Cam Ward get into the goddamn Titans, hey, can Cam Ward do something? Hey, is Trevor Lawrence ever going to be able to do anything? And it's just going to be able to be like, hey, that's where, like, we were just talking about it before we got on the show. The quarterback is the glory position. That's where all the glory positions are. And I mean, that's where all the quarterbacks are. So now it's almost like the king of the hill is still the king of the hill. And then now you go into another season of, can anybody overtake them? The NFC, the Eagles and all of that, their fan base is always going to be their fan base. The Eagles are in there and people still talking about Jaden Daniels. Cowboys still leading first take and undisputed, or whatever. They ain't even undisputed no more. Speak for yourself or speak for each other, whatever the case may be. They still talking about the Giants. Should they have let Saquon Barkley go? You know what I'm saying? So to me, I think for the NFL and other to continue this, I think to keep it as it's going, because people loved it. People love greatness and people hate greatness.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why I say the Chiefs. No, not even why I think. That's why I confidently say the Chiefs.
And I'm glad. I'm glad we on different sides of this, and I'm glad. I'm crazy that I'm the only one that think this way. I think the NFL desperately needs the Eagles to win. And when I say that, and if the Chiefs win, right, we've already heard whole conversations of, well, how do we beat the Chiefs? How do you beat the Chiefs? Yes, I get it. The Bengals are the toughest matchup for the Chiefs. They have, but at this point, it's to get to the point where, how do you beat the Chiefs? And we keep seeing lesser versions of the Chiefs, and they're still winning. So what I mean by them needing the Eagles to win is it shows you what team building actually is. It shows you, okay, the GM actually put in work and put a whole team together. Oh, it changes that misnomer of, oh, you just need an elite quarterback to win the Super Bowl. Because if Jalen Hurts wins the Super Bowl with the Eagles,
it's going to be a lot of Super Bowls in New Orleans.
He's not an elite quarterback. So that shows you, that opens the whole wave of other teams feeling like, hey, you know what? If we just build this team the right way, and we have a quarterback, I'm not taking any shots at Jalen Hurts, but I'm saying,
no, I'm laughing at.
Oh yeah, extra man
glitching.
But it shows that, okay, we put the pieces around him. Now we can build the team the right way, and just instead of just looking at it like, hey, I got a quarterback. I got an elite quarterback. That's all I need.
The thing, though.
And before you go, because think about it. Now we sitting here, all we keep saying is, oh, you need an elite quarterback to win to win. Let's use your team for example. If all that this is going to take is an elite quarterback, then that doesn't give your front office an incentive to go out here and try to build a team. They've done all the hard work. We have an elite quarterback. What does the Bills have to do? I have an elite quarterback. Now it takes the fact that if the Chiefs win again, now you're speaking of what are we doing this for?
But
what incentive does the front office, because they say, hey, I don't have a Patrick Mahomes. What am I doing this for?
But my pushback is also the Chiefs also don't be sitting on their hands with an elite quarterback, and they have the elite of the elite quarterback. When they identify a need, they go make it happen. They needed a wide receiver. All right, cool. We'll go draft one, and we ain't been able to draft one, really good. So guess what? We'll go get goddamn DeAndre Hopkins. Damn, mine went blank. we've been drafting well, but we also spend money. We bring in free agents. We do all of this because let's not forget a couple iterations ago, they also brought in they were making free agent moves and trades, and we was like, God damn, where are they getting all this money from? They was signing people and everything. So it wasn't just like, oh, they drafted a Patrick Mahomes and everything worked out. You know what I mean? They also went and got players. And that's what, and to me, that showed teams too, where it's like, hey, go make things happen. Even the same thing when we were in the draft. I said it about my team. You draft Penei Sewell to win the AFC North. You draft Jamar Chase to win a Super Bowl and beat the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
I said that.
Yeah, you did.
And the same thing is like, hey, it's about what you need, what you have to identify on your roster. And even if the Eagles don't win the Super Bowl, they've gotten here strictly because everybody talks about what Howie Roseman does. And I understand what you're saying, that, people like GMs need to see just because we have a good quarterback, we can't sit on our hands. The Texans, guess what? They had CJ Stroud. They still said, hey, let's go make a move for Stephon Diggs. It wasn't like they just stood still. The Baltimore Ravens, they didn't just sit still. They went and got Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
And they brought in other pieces. The Buffalo Bills, they lost, but it wasn't like they were just like, oh, we got Lamar Jackson, that's it. Like with Lamar Jackson, oh, our running game is going to be the number one regardless because we got Lamar Jackson. We was already out there with Gus, like you said, Gus Edwards, and we was the number one rushing offense. Teams are still going forward.
Yeah, and they're losing.
Just because it just happens. It wasn't like they're sitting on their hands and they're losing.
Listen to me.
That's different.
Listen to me. What more does the Philadelphia Eagles have to do to this roster to win a Super Bowl?
What does any of these teams have to do, bro?
No. I'm specifically singling out the Eagles right now. And pay attention. What do the Philadelphia Eagles have to do with their roster to make this better for them to win a Super Bowl?
Upgrade their quarterback.
All right. You can't just go get. Thank you. Just prove my point. You can't just go get him at home. No. So thank you. Hold on. You just answered it. You just said upgrade your quarterback. But if they win, now they're showing other teams that, hey, you know what? We can build our team the right way instead of just sitting on our hands and relying on the quarterback.
But that's not how. But see, that's why you can't say I proved your point, because the teams that I just told you, they didn't sit on their hands either, and they still lost. Not every team is going to hit on every draft. Somehow the Eagles have hit on a lot of their draft picks and a lot of their free agents. But just because you go out and make free agent, acquisitions, and just because you go out and make draft picks, don't necessarily mean they're gonna hit. Shit, the Kansas City Chiefs, they hit on damn near every draft pick on the defense that they had, and that's how they was able to create this iteration of this team that's winning now. And they moved on from some of their pieces. They still trying to replace Tyreek Hill. They haven't done that yet, but they still have the greatest coach in the league and the greatest quarterback in the league. So that's why it's just like they're already 10 steps ahead of every other team when they step on the field. Lamar Jackson played great. Derrick Henry, he was great. Their offensive line was really good. Their defense, it struggled, but then it came on late and got better, but it still wasn't enough because they still made moves. And like I said, there are some things that just happen when it comes to attrition, because you look at it, the Eagles might not even really should be here. It really should have been the Detroit Lions if you want to, depending on how and we talk about how team building goes, because but they drafted and they didn't sit on their hands. You can't You can't say the Ravens sat on their hands and just relied on Lamar. Like, but they still lost. And even to me, I still think the best two teams in football this season were the Baltimore Ravens and the Detroit Lions. Neither one of them is here. And so it just comes down to it.
And if they and once again, my response is not about to be I won this argument type of response. So don't take it that way. But my thing is, if the Chiefs win, they sitting back like, well, what else can we do? Bro, the Bills went for it. Let's be honest. They went for it. And they lost twice in the playoffs with this team that they went for it. They went on a retool year. They weren't even supposed to be here. And they got to the AFC Championship. They had the MVP, and they still could not beat the Chiefs. So if the Chiefs,
but it's the same thing about the Patriots. Teams was going for it.
Hold on. What happened was they didn't win it every year. The Patriots didn't win it every year. They competed every year. They don't have a 3-peat.
The Chiefs don't have a 3-peat right now either. But I'm saying
that's the premise of the question, sir.
Yeah,
that's the premise of the question.
But even if they do get a 3-peat, it ain't no different than what the other teams was doing. Like when the Patriots was in their dominance, because some of the times that they ended the 3-peat, it was against the Giants
that had a blueprint on how to beat this team.
Yeah, and guess what? There are teams that have blueprints, but then just sometimes when you get on the field, that shit don't necessarily work either. Because you would have thought, oh, the Bengals got the blueprint to beat the Chiefs. We ain't got no Super Bowls to show for it. The Eagles played an amazing game. The first Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You would have thought like, oh shit, they don't got no Super Bowl from that.
It goes to the point that it starts to get into your head. It goes into your head. When teams play the Chiefs, it's in their head like, what do we have to do to beat this team? So if they come out here with a 3-peat, you're sitting there as the front. I'm thinking about from a whole standpoint.
So you think that if the Eagles can't beat the Chiefs, teams just gonna give up?
Yes.
No. So you think the Ravens aren't gonna try and get over the hump again next year and do what it takes to beat the Chiefs?
It was one of, I mean, we're gonna expand on it in the offseason, but what we say on the post-mortem, we say, hey, it happens, dog. We said that.
Yeah, it happens. So we're gonna try and do what we can. Hey, look, like we're gonna go into the draft. They're gonna upgrade their team in the draft, and they're gonna try and go back at it again. They're gonna have to replay. They're probably gonna have to replace Ronnie Stanley. They're gonna try and replace some other players. They might get another cornerback and then be able to move Marlon Humphrey in the slot full time. Those are things where it's just like, hey, trying to beat the Chiefs.
But we also hold the Ravens at a high standard as an organization.
Yeah.
Who's to say that the Steelers just say, hey, bro, we ain't got Patrick Mahomes, dog. We ain't got a chance.
We don't think the Steelers got a chance anyway. But that's what we talk about. Teams that are contenders. Teams that are contenders are always going to they're trying to contend. Teams that have an aspect of okay, our roster can do this. Even if a Steelers fans look okay, we could do this, we could do this, we could do this. We don't believe hey, y'all not a contender. You're going to try and get better. You're going to try and get on the field to do certain things, but we know that you can't do that. But when we're talking about contenders, we're looking at the contenders these contenders aren't just about to stop and be like, oh, what are we supposed to do and give up?
The style of play that the Eagles are playing right now is Steelers football.
But they don't have the Eagles players.
Thank you.
So you think they're not? You think the Steelers are not going to try and we're not going to try and acquire players like that? They've tried to do certain things, but it just didn't work.
Have you? But we do know Steelers fans, right? We do hear them talk, right?
Yes, they think the con man does all of that, and they player acquisition. Stuff don't work. Stuff don't work. It don't mean you ain't trying.
Listen to me. They feel that they just need an elite quarterback. An elite quarterback fixes a lot of their woes. They feel this way. They really feel this way. And a lot of teams
think that.
No. A lot of teams feel this way.
Yes, a
That
lot
an
of.
elite.
But
Listen,
what? How
listen to
many
me,
times have
listen
we
to
said
me,
on this
listen to me,
podcast, no
listen
team is
to me.
just one quarterback away? We've said that on this podcast.
And that's why they need the Eagles to win. That's my point.
The Eagles winning don't change nothing.
It changes a lot.
No, it don't, because these teams are still going to try and build their roster, and everybody who doesn't have a quarterback is still going to try and do it. They're still going to try and go get a quarterback. It's the reason why teams pay these mediocre quarterbacks, because these coaches think I can get something out of him that these other coaches can't.
Sounds good. I mean, sounds good.
No, it sounds good.
We have this argument all the time about teams really not trying.
Yes, but we've also talked about teams that actually try. They go for it. That's why we talk about these teams like that.
That's only a few teams every year.
And that's why they're contenders. We're not talking about these other teams that aren't contenders, because they do the same shit over and over. We only that's what I said. Oh yeah, like the Eagles win and don't change none of these other people, these other teams that believe they're contenders philosophy. Those teams are still going to try and win it. They're still going to try and acquire players. The teams in the AFC are still going to try and acquire players to get better, to beat the Chiefs. The Chargers are going to acquire players so they can try and beat the Chiefs. The Chargers think that they have a legit quarterback. They have an elite quarterback. They believe that. They went and got a coach that they feel is elite. And so they're going to go and acquire players because they have the quarterback to try and do it.
Players.
Yes.
But they feel that they're going to try. They feel they have an elite quarterback.
Yes.
Teams move. Why did the Rams move off of Jared Goff?
Because they want another elite quarterback.
All right.
What you just said, because Jalen Hurts isn't elite. What are you talking about?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. If they would feel that they could win with Jared Goff, if a quarterback like Jalen Hurts won, because he's not an elite.
We've seen not elite quarterbacks win before. That ain't never changed shit.
It changes a lot.
No, it don't. No,
those
it
teams,
don't. If Sam Darnold won the Super Bowl this year, what would it change?
It showed what they did. They did a lot in that offseason.
Yes.
They put a team around him.
Did the Texans not put a team around CJ Stroud and then they got worse?
Yeah, they attempted to put a team around him. They also did. That's also on a rookie contract that you love to do. You love to build your team up on a rookie contract. It's one of your team building philosophies.
Oh, okay, but there's tons of teams that aren't on rookie contract. The Cincinnati Bengals, they signed. They thought they were making moves to go for it by bringing in Sheldon Rankins, by paying Geno Stone, by they brought back Logan Wilson and Jermaine Pratt. They signed they had Orlando Brown. They went out and signed other players. They brought in Mike Gesicki. They thought these were moves that were going to take them over the top, because guess what? We already going to do it. And guess what? It still didn't work. They didn't even make the playoffs.
Yeah, this year. But they're one of the teams that feel that they one of the teams that beat the Chiefs. These one of the teams that the Chiefs are worried about. The Chiefs don't talk about nobody else. The Chiefs don't talk about the Bills. Chiefs don't talk about the Ravens, but they talk about the Bengals. They say who they talk to the toughest quarterback. So of course, y'all made an attempt because y'all thought y'all could beat the Chiefs. Y'all
but in reverse, you think the Ravens don't be worried about us? The Ravens kick our ass every game. The Ravens ain't worried about us. They made them moves to beat the Chiefs, and they didn't even get there. They lost to the Chiefs by a toenail.
Mm-hmm.
They made their moves to beat the Chiefs. They didn't even get to play them.
Mm-hmm.
And they got an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
All right. Who you got for the Super Bowl? Because this ain't going nowhere. Your argument is contradictory.
It's not contradictory. I'm not.
Yes, it is.
It's really not. We just looking at it from two different sides, my brother.
I guess.
We can see. I mean, but at the end of the day, you're arguing about contending teams doing what they do. We praise these organizations for a reason. Like, okay, what is other teams that? Okay, what are they doing all the time? Like, but you didn't name none of those teams. But
because they always doing the same thing. It ain't like the Eagles aren't an always contending team. Now, maybe if you said like the Commanders and we need Jaden Daniels to win it, then maybe that's a little bit different. The Eagles constantly doing stuff to go for it. It's the same thing that the Rams was doing. We was just talking about the Rams. Oh, fuck them picks. And they went for it and got their championship. And then guess what? They retooled and now they start drafting players and thought that they were about to rebuild and they were still competitive. But if the Chiefs win, that ain't about to change. That if the Chiefs win or the Eagles win, that ain't about to change nothing in the NFL on how teams roster build. We've always said these teams are stuck in their ways anyway. However you do it, they always gonna do it. We've been seeing the Eagles' success year after year after year, just getting close. We've talked about the Eagles' success and what they've been doing just to remain like consistently close, and these teams still don't do it. We've seen Howie Roseman do other stuff, and they won it with a backup, and it never changed nobody's thoughts. It never changed anything. It ain't changed. Like we've seen Howie Roseman make the salary cap work over and over and over, and these teams still don't change nothing. The Bengals are supposed to be contenders, but it don't change how they do their salary cap. We thought people thought the Green Bay Packers could have been there. It didn't change how the Green Bay Packers, do things.
They did. They went, but they went as far,
but not super crazy money. They brought in Xavier McKinney and stuff like that, but they didn't do what the Eagles did, and the Eagles have been consistently there. We've said this on this pod that teams that have won don't deviate from how they won. Right? We said that. Well, I said it. I know I've said yes, you said that.
Teams that have won. I mean, you agreed with me at the time when I said it.
Right. But here's my thing. Though.
Teams that have won.
The Eagles have won, right? The Eagles have won.
Yeah. And they've been operating the same way.
So why ain't nobody else been like, damn, the Eagles they've won and they're always in contention?
Because they only won one time. Everybody can win one time. Not everybody.
Not everybody.
Okay, AJ. I stopped myself when I said it. Okay. But teams that won one time. Okay. It's different. People don't do that part.
But here's the thing. You say teams who win don't change how they win. The Rams won one way and they're attempting to win a different way right now.
Yeah. They are. Because they won. They can do this thing now. They've done so many F those pick go for it years for so long that at this point, yes, they have to try a different way. They've done it they've tried that way for so long that did not work. The go for it method that a lot of teams try to implement. But try to win one. But here's
my thing. They also tried it the same way that you talking about it with Jared Goff, and they didn't. So they went and got the elite quarterback. And so
you are proving my point, my brother.
No, I'm not.
Maybe you are not understanding my point, because if they would have won with Jared Goff, they would have been feeling that they don't need an elite quarterback, but they felt that they needed an elite quarterback to go get one. It's the reason why the 49ers moved on from Jimmy G, because they thought they needed an elite quarterback to get them over the hump. And if they would have won, I've been making the same exact argument. If they would have won with Brock Purdy, who is not an elite quarterback, teams will be trying to build themselves a team instead of just trying to find an elite quarterback. Because it's easier to build an entire team than to just find an elite quarterback.
So teams aren't building their team at all, even without an elite quarterback.
You are better than this, bro. You are better.
You're not making sense, bro. I'm telling you,
you are not this stupid. At this point, you are not this
bro. You're not making your point is not making sense.
How is it not making sense, my brother?
Because I'm just telling you every single time. Like,
first off, hold on. They just got receivers for Lamar Jackson. You've been begging for years for them to get wide receivers, and they just got him weapons. It still didn't work. Then you are playing. I thought you was playing around. Now you're not getting it. Then you really not.
All right.
And I get it, but it's other teams that's looking at this formula. I get it. You can look at these contending teams. These contending teams are the reason why we hold them to a standard. Yes, we hold the Ravens to a standard. We hold the Bills to a standard. Because they are contending teams. They have great organizations that do it. But it's a plethora of other teams that don't operate this way.
Yeah.
It's a reason why Seattle is trying to move off from Geno Smith. Because they haven't won with Geno Smith, and you just rolled your eyes like, oh, it's Geno Smith, because they don't have an elite quarterback. But if somebody would win with Jalen Hurts regular ass, then they would think about it differently. Teams don't win with these teams. Teams that don't win with this team, because all we hear is we need an elite quarterback. If we don't have an elite quarterback, we don't have a chance. You listen to some of these same exact shows that I hear, and they speak the same exact rhetoric. If they don't have an elite quarterback, they don't have a chance. If somebody like Jalen Hurts win, a lot of these teams will move differently and feel that they don't have a chance. I mean, they have a chance.
What I'm telling you is these teams, even the teams that don't have the elite quarterback, they're still trying to put players around their not elite quarterback and maximize it. But then guess what? Hey, when you're not an elite quarterback, you get some of those not elite quarterback performances. It's the same reason with Jared Goff, and we talked about this in the MVP race, and then what happened in the playoffs. Just because like you have a good team around them, but sometimes when you're not an elite quarterback, guess what? It shows up that they're not elite. Everything has to go right. Every single thing has to go right for you to win without your not elite quarterback. And then the moment there is a chink in the armor or something doesn't go right, or there has to be certain things done off structure, it just happens. And hey, guess what? You don't have an elite quarterback. So guess what? I'm not saying don't try and build a team if you don't have an elite quarterback, but you're still going to want to try and find an elite quarterback. It's the same thing that I said about in basketball. Yeah. So what? Hey, the Warriors, hey, we won 72 games, but guess what? We not going to not try and get Kevin Durant because we didn't win.
And they became a dynasty. But if the Pistons became a dynasty, a team that only won one championship, a lot of teams would be trying to build their team like the Pistons. But they did not.
But a lot of teams still couldn't build their team like the Pistons because they couldn't hit in drafts and free agency. Sometimes you do stuff and it don't work. We just went through them NBA trades and we was like, I mean, what are you like? What are you really doing here? Like,
yeah.
And so just because you are doing certain things doesn't mean it. A lot of times these contenders are contenders because they're competent.
That's correct.
You can hand somebody a recipe. Don't mean they gonna be able to make the cake the same way.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that point at all. That's a good point. That's not going towards your point at all. I mean, you know, it's there, but that's a great separate point.
No, all right, sure.
Yeah, that's a great separate point.
Okay,
that is.
All right, so the big game is Sunday. We got the Eagles and Chiefs. We got the Eagles versus the Chiefs. I'm going with the Eagles just because, hey, forget Kermit the Frog. Forget Travis Kelce. Forget his wife. Forget his mama. His brother, all right. Taylor Swift.
Who brother, all right?
Travis, not Patrick.
Oh, I
been said Travis.
I had missed that.
I was not talking about Pat. But yeah, I'm going with the Eagles, man, and yeah, going with the Eagles, and I'm just excited for a Kendrick Lamar concert.
Okay, I ain't really excited about none of this, but
I just said Kendrick Lamar concert.
I ain't excited for it. I didn't already seen it. Like, you know what I'm saying? We've seen it. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm going for the Chiefs. I do hope, like I've been saying for the whole entire playoffs, I wanted to see a good game, dog. Like, I really want to see a good game. Like, that's really all that really matters is seeing a good game. But I had the Chiefs, so I'm not betting against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna, regret it, but I don't care. I'm also going to put my money on the Chiefs just in case, because usually on the team that I bet on, they lose. So either
So you know I'm betting on the Eagles, so that's about to cancel all that out.
either I win or I win.
Yeah. Okay. So same.
It's
So
all right. Now I guess it's I got to drop a little bit of a bag. I'll do it.
oh
I'll
yeah,
be
go ahead.
the guy. I'll be the one to do it.
You go ahead and do that. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this game is a tale of two. Like it is like a style clash coming together in a certain part, but you know we're gonna see. We're just gonna see, man. It's hard to give an analysis when like once again you got a team going for a 3-peat and they got some flaws and we don't care because they got an elite quarterback. They got that man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They got that man.
Second best quarterback in the game.
And it's just gonna be funny, man. We just allowing another person on the other side to play like Jimmy G, and it's gonna be fine. Like this is weird. Like
Is Big Dom gonna be on the field?
yeah,
All right. I got some hope.
he was on the field last time.
Yeah, but hey,
Big Dom can't be your hope. That's the case.
I think it's a prop bet that Big Dom swing on somebody. So I'm gonna put $10 on that.
Big Dom get his big ass dropped. Sold on nothing. I ain't sold on nothing. Big Dom do. No,
I hope KC drop every damn pass. I hope it's 3 tipped interceptions. I hope Jalen Carter have a flu game and he get 3 sacks like Adrian Claiborne did against who was it? What's his name? It was some Green or Ball, something like that.
it was Chaz Green, bro.
Chaz Green, yeah.
Of course, they get everybody. Oh, you got to bring the Cowboys. Why you got to bring the Cowboys?
You know what I mean? So I hope. Matter of fact, I need Josh Sweat to get a sack for Florida State. I need Johnny Wilson to catch a touchdown, and I need Cooper DeJean to get a pick 6 for all the white corners in the world, Jason Sehorn style.
Shouts out to Chris Jones. You know what to do. Shouts out to Trip McDuffie. You know what to do. Justin Reed. You know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Do what you gotta do.
AJ Brown.
Yeah. This ain't Marshawn Lattimore. Yeah, this ain't Marshawn Lattimore. You can go and do what you want to do. This ain't Marshawn Lattimore.
Saquon, hey, he got to make everybody forget about his wife tweets, dog. Like he about to run for 200 and 2 tutties. He said, "Hey, we ain't even doing the tush push today. I'm running this bitch from 60."
Yeah. Okay, and with the Chiefs stopping the quarterback sneak version of the tush push that the Bills did last week, does that give you pause to if you're the Eagles from like doing the tush push?
No.
Okay.
Because we've seen plenty of teams try to do it. But it's like the Eagles actually they have a lot more success. It's like Michael Jackson and then Flex Washington playing Michael Jackson. It's just like one is the original and the other is like
they are not that bad at running it. We are that right now. I don't know what type of time you owe when you come to that, but
fuck all that. Nah.
Ain't no way. They went 17 for 20 to come to the quarterback sneak, and you compare them to, hey, you can catch a little all the podcast platform, 3-man weave, Instagram, Twitter, 3-man weave _ You can email us at podcast.3.man.weave@gmail.com. I'm Hill. That's AJ. Some of y'all the 4s, some of y'all the Fab 5, and we will be back next week to discuss. We might have to have a part 2 of this discussion. You know what I'm saying? Next week, just depending on the outcome. But we'll see, man. Appreciate y'all.